Hello everybody and welcome to the Learn Dota 2 League Season 14, Week 3. At this rate, I'm going to get this week done faster than I'm going to get Week 2 done, which is going to be a nice change. Today, we got G-Raff's Lab, captained by February 10th, 2023. That's ominous. Going up against the Brothers Against NATO, guided by I Didn't Look at the Theme this season. And with me here today, once again, is Matthias Child, known to some of you under his pseudonym, Matty Boy. How's it going, Matty?
I'm here.
G-Raff's Lab starting out with some interesting bands.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, like, Pudge is broken, and
Ogre Magi is broken in a different way.
Yeah,
like a broken tricycle. G-Raff has clearly been keeping on its pulse on the rising heroes and has realized that Silencer's win rate has spiked several percentage points recently.
Yeah, Silencer good. Silencer strong.
Kami knocking out Enigma, knocking out the Marcy. No surprise on the Marcy. A little bit of a surprise on the Enigma.
5 seconds remaining.
It's a copless classic. You'd know better than I would on that, I suppose.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Copless just
me.
spams the good heroes. He's just the good player.
Is there ever a bad game for Lion? I mean, probably not, right?
No, I think he... in the right hands, he offers stun, hex, and... I mean, managing kind of just being, like, annoying in lane, kind of useless in the rest of the game. Until you get the shard against illusion heroes, somewhat, like, it's a very... I don't know.
Radiant team pick.
I think the burst, like, it's just a... like a different Lena. Then you pair it with Death Prophet, then it works well.
It's definitely a good pairing. We've seen some Death Prophets in this season so far that kind of just failed to get off the ground due to the fact that their teams end up having no lockdown to support it. Looking at you, Dragon Ball Zeus.
I think this is like a nice 3-4. Just pick your off lane, call it a day.
Yeah, it could be a 5 Lion. Oh, it could even be a support DP.
Yeah, and that's where this, like, this 1-2 offers you a nice bit of flex, where it can be a core in the Death Prophet in 2 positions, the Lion can play 2 positions.
Radiant team back.
If you're really feeling spicy, it can be a mid. Whereas G-Raff kind of I mean, it sounds like it can be a 2. I've heard rumblings of the Silencer 3, but like, ugh.
Spicy.
And Lich is 5.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. It's
Lich
probably
is 5.
support line.
5 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
yeah. Probably a support line is a good way to put it. If it's a mid line, I don't know. I've seen it. I've played with it.
Oh no, I didn't mean support Lion. I meant support line. Like it is the 4 and the 5.
Oh yes. Okay.
On Radiant.
I heard Lion. Like yeah. I don't know. Mid line sucks. Don't ever do it.
No pop. Shoutouts to Dragon.
Yeah, Dragon. It wasn't you that made me think Lion mid sucks, but
10 seconds remaining.
Tell him how you really feel.
No, he did great with it.
5 seconds.
Hey, speaking of
mid line is the only mid line I would actually pick.
Speaking of, tell us how you really feel. You're going to be really excited to hear. You had nothing but nice things to say about Katie, so I'm excited to see you watch the stream where you played as Death Prophet and get to hear Katie flame the hell out of that.
Yeah, I sucked real bad as that Death Prophet. Oh, dude, I don't even want to talk about it.
Yeah, at the end of the game, she was like, the Death Prophet should have been a core, and I was like, I like Viper as a core a lot better in this game. You know, you're losing out a lot by losing that. What do you get with the DP? And she's like, not it being played by not Matty Boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she was like, please cut that out of the video. I don't want Matty Boy to hate me.
Nah. That Death Prophet game 100% deserved it. And I played Death Prophet 5 before when Death Prophet was different, and then I was like, fuck it, it's a better Death Prophet 5 game than it is a Viper 5 game.
Yeah, by a lot. I definitely agreed on that. Yeah, I just thought the execution on that particular game was bad, but we're getting off in the weeds here. You didn't click on this video to hear me bang on one more time about how you had the better draft and then you played it out all wrong and just kind of chain fed an LC who had nothing before that happened. Anyway.
Yeah.
Very generic bans out here. Interestingly, G-Raff making the assumption that this is going to be a core Death Prophet and has levied some bans against some more supports. And it appears he was right on the money with that, as we now have a Nyx Assassin on this lineup.
Nyx. So, like I said, it's just a 3-4, and then... Well, it's not. No, it's the 5 Lion with
4
the 3
Nyx.
Death Prophet.
Yeah,
4 Nyx. It's
could be mid DP. I don't know if people still like doing mid DP so much, but
5 seconds.
Cranberry does.
Yeah, there you go.
But it's Cranberry's an offlaner, so giving an offlaner more farm.
I like the Nyx pick here. There's a lot of damage that G-Raff Lab just cannot possibly avoid getting rid of. There's going to be some fights where the global silence just doesn't come out because Nyx Assassins are going to be able to just pick him out off on the sides. And when he's not doing that, he's a pretty decent complement to the Death Prophet in a very annoying lane, so... All good stuff. I like that pick on Connor's part.
I like the Nyx. I think it's definitely one of those supports that it needs to fit the game. Oh, sorry. Got a burp.
Team pick.
Alright, there we go. And this is another one of those heroes that I think Nyx just works into somewhat.
Yeah,
you just walk into a fight with Spike Carapace on, you just
everybody
Centaur up.
Everybody accidentally runs onto you with the Centaur ult. It's just like everybody just runs over some road spikes, their wheels fall off.
Yeah, you know, it's especially if Nyx ends up getting an Ags, like
Dire team pick.
Could be bad.
Spectre.
And here's a Spectre, so
Spectre could be interesting. Spectre works best against the less coordinated, more split up teams. As a result, Spectre is basically all about the execution. If you pull her out and you're constantly finding those individual squishy guys that you can just eat in a second flat, Spectre's going to do great for you. If you pull out Spectre and every time you go on somebody, you're going on Nyx Assassin who just hits Spike Carapace, stuns you, and walks away, or TPs away, by God, then not so much.
Yeah, and that's where there's 3 in heroes here, so make it 4. I mean, 3 of those in heroes are not tanky. Oh, it's 2. I forgot Nyx is a Agi.
Yep.
Don't mind me. So you have 3 in heroes and an Agi hero, and I think they're all kind of squishy. Necrophos not so much, but
yeah, you're never gonna kill the Necro. You're just gonna hit W and TP.
Yeah.
Not until you get Abyssal. Death Prophet's gonna be kind of a hard one. Lion should be easy as long as you don't fumble with your presumable Orchid. I mean, you're just going to need Orchid on Spectre this game. No 2 ways about it.
Yeah, late game Orchid. Not late game, but like, you know, after the core items.
Yeah. Remaining. No Wraith King, by the way, which is an interesting ban.
5 seconds.
I think Wraith King genuinely has a 0% win rate in this season so far, so it's a bit of a surprising ban to see.
It's just not, yeah, I don't know. The hero needs help in some way.
No Druid, by the way. On the other hand, no Sniper.
No Druid? Really? Like, who banned Druid?
I don't know, they keep banning Druid in this league for some reason.
Plays Druid?
Yeah, there was another match I recorded. I don't recall who was in it. I think it might have actually been another Brothers against NATO game, so maybe it's like a Luth Classic or something. I don't know. But either way...
look into that, but...
Every time it's been banned, I've said something to the lines of, a lone Druid ban in the LD2L is kind of frankly shocking.
Yeah. Why? But if Luth plays it or something, then fuck it. Sure.
Luth is a 3 on this team, by the way. If you weren't aware. Well, you are aware, aren't you? Because I think you played against these guys.
Yeah.
Or have you? Who'd you play week
Radiant
1?
team pick.
You played G-Raff Lab in week 1, so you
I
don't
haven't
actually.
technically, but I've scouted enough of it.
Yeah. No Viper, by the way.
Really? Interesting. It's... I mean, I guess against the Spectre, you don't want
10
that break.
seconds remaining.
Well, it's not Spectre's team that got rid of it. It's
5
Brothers Against
seconds
NATO.
remaining.
Which tells me
Yeah,
that
fuck,
it's...
why? Why?
Yeah. Cause Necro absolutely hates seeing him, cause,
Dire
Death
team
Prophet
Yeah.
is not a fan. And I'm also going to make the astounding guess. We are,
Is it a
classic, pause
silencer
2.
mode?
Pause 2 AA, perhaps? I'm going to make the astounding guess we're probably going to see a very passive-driven pause 1 if we're going to be banning Viper. Maybe it's
I
going to be
don't know.
Slark. We've seen some Slark being played by Coffee Cat before.
5 seconds remaining.
No, they need like a not so active pause one. Because they don't need it. They have a Necro and a DP. Yeah, there it
Choose your
is.
hero.
That's Sven. It's another very passive dependent hero, so there you go. Who is
So it makes
Zook?
sense why they banned the Viper.
Is Kami being stood in for this game, or is he going by Zook now?
I don't know. It doesn't look like Sundance. Yeah, it's Sundance is Zook.
No, Sundance is Maniac.
Okay, so Peter's Hate Watcher
Yeah.
is Zook.
So I haven't seen the week 2 game.
Oh yeah,
yet.
and they get Big Boy Centaur. That's not a good idea.
I
forgot about that. That's yeah.
I've
And
only
they get-
seen
Okay, so it's Howler for AA, Topless 5 Silencer, and
Big Boy
or-
LaCroix is traditionally their mid. I don't think
Wait.
he's going to be doing that this game.
oh, so it's Topless mid Silencer.
It could be Howler mid
G-Raff.
AA.
Does Howler play mid for this team sometimes?
He plays mid when he plays AA sometimes.
Oh, okay. I mean, put Copless 5, that's the best idea you possibly could have had this whole season.
Yeah, Copless traditionally the 3.
Oh, yeah. And that's...
Maddie, you
that's
played
where
against
he
this
should
team.
be. No, I know. It's... Copless should play the 3, but is best at the 5.
DD Olds, Copless.
Well, it's dd.old.copless.
Oh yeah, it's my favorite website. Coffee Cat in that Dogtown clan, so you can assume Kid Dynamite associate, so you can assume 0-2 this game.
Prepare for battle.
See, everybody's moving out. It looks like it's going to be hard to tell. I think it's going to be a fool's endeavor to try and figure out where people are going based on where they're running out when it's time for runes. Silencer definitely appears to be setting himself a core lineup here. Going in for
Oh, yeah,
all
for
treads.
sure. He's going from... This is the mid lineup. He's got the ward. Copless, mid.
He also has a ward. He's just not the right kind of ward. So
Not the right one.
it looks like it is going to be Copless mid this particular game. They're going to be running Big Boy LaCroix on 3. It's definitely going to be a more comfortable role for him, if nothing else. I don't know if this is like a full-time lane swap, or if this is just something they did to make
30
this draft
seconds
work
to
out.
battle.
Which I do think is not a bad idea. I mean, it's like... if
No,
you're-
it's definitely the best they could do with what they got.
If you got an unorthodox lineup like G-Raff Slab, which, let's just be frank, is a collection of 4 pos 3 players and Howler, then, you know, one thing you can definitely do is just play...
Howler and Copless,
The
and
battle
then
begins.
yeah, you know it. Copless is an offlaner independently, and then a 5 with the right players.
And just got one,
Howler
one
who was
rune
a
on G-Raff.
4. Big Boy at 3, which is fine. Like that's a set.
You notice that Howler is sponsored by Subaru? That's another big sponsor in the LD2L. Lots of players getting big ones here.
Yeah, interesting.
This does not look like Kami. I played against Kami. This does not look like his clan tag or anything. I'm gonna say this is probably a stand-in. So, with that being said, the point I was about to make, just to make that really quick, if you got a very unorthodox lineup like this, play to everybody's draft strength and switch it up sometimes. It can't hurt you.
Sure.
Can't possibly hurt you. So, with that being said, time for the rundown, the roll call for G-Raff Lab. Pause 1, you've got Obi, the Bulldog, on the Spectre. Pause 2, you've got Copeless, may not be here forever, on the Silencer. Pause 3, you've got Big Boy LaCroix, Big Boix LaCroix, Big Box LaCroix, whoever he is. He's playing the Centaur this game, or Kentaur if you like that. Howler on pause 4, again sponsored by Subaru. Amazing how this happens. And G-Raff / the Beetus on pause 5 on the Lich. You want to do the Brothers Against NATO rundown?
Sure do. Coffee Cat is playing the Sven on the pause 1. Pause 2, we got the Zook, I'm assuming is a stand-in.
I like his sponsor of, yeah, man's gotta eat.
Man's gotta eat. Pause 3, we got Luke, the man, the myth, the legend. Pause 4.
Yeah, he's like Legend 2 or something, yeah.
Megalo, Maniac. The Skyrath
Maniac.
Boy.
Nope, never mind.
Reefer Maniac.
Oh man, G-Raff is going to the
This
deep
man is a
end here?
myth as old as the league itself.
Is that true?
Is going to get the fucking done. Not, I don't know. Maniac's been around for a while.
See, but saying that he's as old as the league itself implies that he's like 2 years old. Anyway, who's the pause 5?
But yeah, pause 5 is New Obs.
Still in his Birds Aren't Real colors.
That, yeah.
And
Second
also
season
First Blood.
playing in competitive, doing swimmingly.
I believe Runover meets Cousin.
Interesting.
So if any
Was
Runover
on
meets
my
it,
short list of picks, as recommended by the GOAT, Otto von Bismarck.
Right, see, what you want is you want New Obs.
New Obs is a Wraith Pact enjoyer.
Right,
We'll
every
build
game.
it every game. Wraith
Every
Pact.
game.
I trained him. Wraith Pact enjoyer.
Well, unfortunately,
And I
he's not
said-
playing pause 4 this season, so he's not a Wraith
So
Pack
no
enjoyer
Wraith
anymore.
Pact enjoyer.
Actually, the rate of Wraith Packs in games seems to have declined quite dramatically in LD2L since the start of the season.
Well, it got expensive.
Mm-hmm. I think it's pretty much at the point now where it's kind of prohibitive outside of pause 3, but people just don't want to do that in most games, so...
Yeah, it doesn't make sense anymore. Koffler's getting a solo kill on the Zook.
Yep, a completely solo kill with no involvement from
With
anyone
no help
else.
from the Lich or the AA. I don't want to hear any of it.
My boy has become a fake solo kill enthusiast. I taught him that myself. He's a fake solo kill enjoyer. Quote Hollywood.
It's yeah, it's my Hollywood vibes. Solo kill. No, the Queen is dead, so Copless is unleashed.
The Queen is dead. Copless is unleashed. Otto is leashed.
Nah, Otto does not care.
He is 100% leashed. I know he pretends he doesn't care, but everyone knows the score.
I mean, one player is in the league, one is not. You tell me who wins.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. He's leashed. Goodbye, G-Raff. Just getting run over by this off
Yeah, that's just how this Nyx Death Prophet's gonna go.
Yeah, this is
You get
gonna...
caught out by the Nyx stun, there's gonna be a Siphon and a Q. It's just how it's gonna be.
And this is gonna keep happening too. I think this is a very strong combination of heroes. There's one thing that I think has been kind of dogging Kami for quite a long time, his team. So very often he's had lineups where you have like 5 individual heroes that don't really amount to anything. It's kind of the same problem that the Balladek team had in Season 13. You got 5 heroes, they're 5 good heroes, but they're no team, they're no theme, they don't have any kind of collusion with each other, they're just kind of all there.
Yeah.
But,
you know, it's 5 comfy heroes that just don't work together.
We got some... Oh, we missed out on a kill here.
And it's another solo kill mid.
Yep.
This is actually a solo kill.
Yeah, this is just the first scythe comes out. Goodbye, Silencer.
Oh boy, oh wow. Yeah.
Necro just heals off the entirety of the Silencer Q.
That's just what happens here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any two ways about it.
Well, they had nothing to really go against the Silencer mid. Or not, the Necropus mid.
Yeah.
The Silencer was the best option.
Middle tower is under attack.
What else are you gonna send? The Lich or the like? I don't know.
Yeah, no matter what happens, it's gonna be a bad mid lane for this lineup.
So you might as well send Copless.
Yep. Funnily enough, I think that's where the Viper ban really actually hurt out on them, because you know Viper mid just completely eats Necro. He has nothing to do in that lane except die.
Yeah, but in the game though, what would a Viper do?
What does a Viper do? He just keeps melting Necro. I mean, it's just a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation for Necro, because if you don't go Shroud, he just eats you with his Shard, and if you do go Shroud, then he just eats you with his Toxin.
I don't know. As a Viper enjoyer, I'm also a Viper hater.
I've been in that situation before, on both ends of the affair. You can trust me on how that one goes.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know.
This Spectre is looking a little dead here.
This Viper's looking... Not Viper. This, Spectre's looking a lot of...
Had a basically,
dead, but not...
basically full magic wand, it seems like. We give Lich the ability to
as you
just run
should
down
in
here.
this lane. Copless throwing some right clicks out. Donking them down.
I know Ray Bebe is a magic wand in lane non-enjoyer, but I think against a lane like this, where that thing is going to be at 20 stacks basically all the time, because of the bats, because of the mana break and everything, you might as well do it. You're really losing nothing and just gaining way more sustain doing that.
I don't know. 7-minute magic wand on a carry little early. Like, why not grab the Gloves of Haste first and then finish the wand? Kind of my idea.
Luthas hit this. EXO is looking to take the first T1 here immediately. Lifts out to try and stop this. Meanwhile, a bit of an awkward situation at top.
Both ends of the stick here.
G-Raff trying to catch Finn out here. Finn ends up catching him. I think, well, I was about to say, maybe hesitates a little much on the Sinister Gaze. Turns out doesn't have it at all, so never mind.
Does not have it.
Which kinda, okay, well, Silencer's gonna get clapped by the next scythe there. Kinda makes me question a little bit what the Lich is doing up here at all. What's a level 3 Lich like gonna do in this scenario? I guess finish off the Sven, so that's good.
Yeah.
Just
that's what
does get the Sinister Gaze.
Now level 4 has the Sinister Gaze.
But I do feel like that's a little bit more.
That's far.
I do feel like that's a little bit more attributed to Sven
Beetus?
sticking around than anything else.
What do you? Space?
Well, these guys are just gonna collide with each other 50 times. Nuobs is of course the correct one here and has actually found the Lich. Maniac just is like, hey, wait a minute, turns right back around, goes back into it.
Middle tower is under
Just really hopes he's getting hit, so he hits his Spike Carapace. Does not, but it doesn't matter. Coffee Cat gets a revenge kill.
You should not have crossed me.
You should not have crossed me.
You should not have crossed me.
I think this is a harder game to argue the Vanguard for here, outside of just as a, basically just as a hold of 2 items for a future disassemble. Like, Sven is gonna hit R, and then he's doing way too much damage for a 70 damage block to give any crap about. You know, it's all about scale. It's all about perspective. You know, the Vanguard's great when the enemy is doing 100 damage a shot a lot, and not great when they're doing, you know, 500 damage a shot infrequently.
Yeah, I don't know. That's where, like, the Sven into Spectre is kind of interesting.
Well, it's not Sven who got the Vanguard, it's Centaur War Runner. Necro is just gonna randomly die here, maybe? No, he's gonna be okay.
Yeah,
That's a really well-timed W.
I don't know.
Especially first over the Hooded Defiance, which really would have come in handy in a situation like that. Sven is gonna just die at this for no reason.
I don't know why. Yeah. Interesting.
Goodbye, Sven. Should not have done
that. On the Centaur in general, but he's the Master Tier player, so I'm not gonna question it.
True, you are
Vanguard.
The mere Matty boy in this situation.
In this situation, I am a.
You are but an average. You are but an average-sized boy, and he's a big boy.
He is, yeah.
So there you go.
He's just a large boy of LaCroix.
That was just a very interesting team fight all around. It just really felt like neither team was very coordinated in that approach.
Zuki just gonna chase the Spectre down. Like, that's his end goal for this entire game.
But with no Reapers, there's just nothing to do here. Let's take a look at that net worth chart. Necro at the very top of it, followed very swiftly by Death Prophet. And I gotta say, when this was happening for Dragon Ball Zeus and their Death Prophet was like the highest core on the highest farmed on the team, it was not a core DP. That wasn't very good. When it is a core DP, this is everything you want in life. Has nothing to fear from any of these people. Is gonna be zooming and dooming around. It's gonna really make life suck. And I tell you what, it's a very hard team to build against. Because you have Necro, who's going to be putting out immeasurable magic damage. You know, nothing even said about the Lion or the Neeks there. Ooh, speaking of Neeks, he's found himself in a little trouble.
Except for when you die like that.
Yep. But, not only do you have... Why did he just say a first bloodline? That's weird. But,
yeah, it's 6-9.
Oh, man!
Oh, Big Boy's gonna live.
That was the biggest magic wand ever in history. Holy crap. And Silence just randomly dies somewhere else. Okay.
Yeah.
And so did G-Raff.
Beetus.
You become feast.
Fights happening all over the map here. Need multicam like TI. But Necro puts out an alarming amount of magic damage. Death Prophet puts out an alarming amount of physical damage, and then of course you've got the Sven on top of that, who puts out both. This is going to be a hell of a team to build around. I do not envy Big Bill LaCroix at all.
It's just, do you build BKB or anything else first?
I think you have to get the Wraith back in this game for starters. Like, you just have to get rid of some of this damage coming off of you, and that's the only way where you can guarantee get rid of it. I would go for Pipe above any sort of Crimson Guard situation because that's going to stop the Necro for the whole party. Pipe is a total block for him.
Well, Crimson Guard sucks.
Damn.
I mean,
certainly
I haven't built that
game.
item in legitimately a year and a half, probably. Build Vanguard, but
you're not much of a Pit Lord player, are you?
Not really anymore.
Oh, there you go. G-Raff gonna try and take a solo ult to the Necro here. Okay, this is a little...
games that I would pick it in that Wraith Pack just isn't objectively better in.
Obi is so deep here. This is gonna be a very hard situation, but he is wisely just sticking to the tree line here.
He's fine. Oh yeah.
He's got a big pull.
Exit out. No worries.
Nope, Necro's got that blink dagger, so it's over.
Your flesh spoils.
Very, very awkward time for Obi to try and be engaging on the Necro there. I think that was almost the predictable result. Really just needs to not be here.
Don't be on the other side of the map.
Well, I mean, he just dove to Necro because he was in a bad fight, and he was just trying to use that as what he saw as the easiest out. It was not the easiest out.
It was not. No.
So he's dead anyway. At least he wasted time, I guess. So there's that. He is,
sure.
As traditionally stated, lowest net worth core in this server. This is a potentially big EXO. He's just walking up here. Silencer and Lich are just trying to go in on the support line over at the side here. Okay, that scythe was really early. Good ult from Howler is going to make some amount of revenge potentially possible. No, I don't think so.
Radiant's bottom
They
tower
can't.
is under
They
attack.
can't break through here.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Radiant glyphs for both this tower and the T2 bot, which is being pushed by Sven at the same time. They just got a pretty notably decisive win in a fight here, and they did not even have their Sven present.
Yeah, you know, it's classic. Just
Silencer.
fighting without your carry. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, fight without your
Zook's
carry.
kind of
Radiant's
not
middle
Zook is
tower
kind of
has
Zook
fallen.
has a massive lead right now. As those are Death Prophets who just maximize.
And it's not the biggest. You can kind of see it here. He's still definitely mortal. Goodbye, Zook.
As is anybody.
All I can say to that is, ouch.
Yeah. I don't know
The Blink Rush Necro is an
what else to
interesting
say about
choice.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen that before, but I'm not gonna question it.
So
It is
far,
what
it's
it
been
is.
mostly panning out, but that fight definitely made it feel like Necro is a little equate on the Ats stay, if
Well,
you get my drift.
Fragile. Yeah.
Bottle opens up. The Matty Boy Fresh Original Made.
Oh yeah. Nice blue moon.
Okay, you're only allowed to drink Blue Moon on stream if you sing one of the 2 Blue Moon songs.
Alright, well if we give me a brief intermission to look up the Blue Moon song, I will listen to it
There's
and
2 of
sing
them.
it. Blue Moon.
Radiant are scanning.
So,
Ooh, Silencer. Silencer in the
by
pit
the
against the Nyx here.
Marcells.
Yep, goodbye Silencer.
Myself
Oh no, surprise
Yeah.
me!
What's the other one? Or Rod Stewart? Billie Holiday. Or Frank
There's like-
Sinatra.
There's like a group one and there's like a solo one, basically,
let
and
me
everybody's
listen
just
to Dean
doing
Martin.
covers. Yeah, that's the one. That's the one in New Vegas, I think.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Yeah,
attack.
Dean Martin's that guy.
Everybody's
so is
covered it, but I
Frank
think that's
Sinatra.
everybody's covered it, but I think that's the particular cover in that game. This is kind of a doomed attempt here. Okay, this is a 4-man stomp here. Goodbye, Nyx Assassin. This attempt got a lot less doomed really fast.
Yeah, Big
New
Boy
wall
Bros,
just knocked off the
took him-
face of the earth.
Do not get Big Boy Centaur.
So the good news is that the Dire took out the bot T2. The bad news is that it was the dictionary definition of not worth it. Necro is still in a commanding net worth lead, but at this point it feels like he means nothing. Feels like it's 2 fights in a row now where he's just been squashed like a bug, and that hurts. Luth feels like he's a lot stronger, but how much can he do as a basically solo DP? Especially when the supports are just melting all around you. I think the ultimate summation is that Sven needs to hurry up, get some farm as soon as humanly possible. Get on the
Hurry up
get on
and
the up
Radiant's
track.
top
farm.
tower is
Yeah,
under attack.
that damage definitely gets reflected. I'm also listening to Sinatra now. Thank to you.
You're welcome. Okay, goodbye, Spectre.
Yeah, Spectre just
Dire's middle
got
tower is under attack.
ripped a new hole by
Radiant's top
that
tower
lion
is
there
under
with the
attack.
finger of death.
Howler is going to walk up on Sven here.
Going to just tactically feed. Or just sit
Sven
here and
is,
biz.
yeah.
I don't know.
There's no tactical feed
cat.
calling up a Howler today. Even at worst, he was Big Buller Croy right behind him. Dire captures outpost. Pupil's Gift, found by Big Boy LaCroix. Ancient Apparition sitting on that Occult Bracelet. You know, I really like the Occult Bracelet. I feel like it's good on literally every hero I play. This is an interesting start to this fight.
Yeah, that's not the one that's percentage-based mana reduction.
No, that's the, when the enemy hits you, you get mana item.
The Vizier, something, yeah. The Stacks one is good. The other one is absolute dog shit.
Whoa, Big Boy LaCroix going down. Both
Maniac
pause 3s melt.
Absolutely
Not both pause 3s.
shreds Maniac.
Necro and Centaur Warrunner going down immediately at the start of this fight. Centaur Warrunner, pretty decent sized kill, puts Dyer at a straight up net worth advantage.
And there goes Howler with the Mega 5 kill streak.
Right in the loose pocket. Maddie, I got a question for you. Might be tough to answer.
Ants! Yes!
Alright.
Hit me!
Can Iowa?
Can Iowa?
Can Iowa?
Iowa always wins.
Alright. Shoutouts to all the Iowa...
I will literally never not believe in Iowa stackers.
Alright.
And there are people from Iowa.
You could basically put if you put a period at the sentence there, if you put a period at the end of there are people in Iowa, it would actually have been an educational fact for a lot of people.
Yeah, I mean, who knew? But there are Iowa stackers, and there are people from Iowa who play Dota.
I got this funny feeling, by the way, you probably live in some state that looks like a square anyway, so I don't know how much you get to talk.
Me?
Getting bullied.
I mean, my state is rectangular.
Sorry, rectangular.
I'm from a nice eastern state, one of the original 13, by the way.
Okay, the way that that's the first thing you go off of makes me think it's like Delaware or something.
No, fuck Delaware.
Damn! All the Delaware LD2L fans are tuning out in droves.
Not like one of them, maybe?
You know, I'm writing a book, and the main character he grows up in Delaware.
That's great, but you don't fucking stay in Delaware.
He didn't either.
No!
In fairness, the place he goes to isn't much better because he goes to Indiana. South Indiana, by God.
But it's better than Delaware. There is shit there. Unless you're farming.
What the hell are you doing then, Maddie?
Driving through.
What's the, you're talking about nothing to do up there but farm. Anyway, here's the farm report this week. Check out me with this cow. Got some chicks in my garage. There's nothing to do there but farm. Sounds like the perfect place for you then, brother.
Yeah, exactly. I would love to live in Delaware. Nobody else. Meanwhile, G-Raff kills off Maniac.
So much Delaware slander, and the conclusion is, oh yeah, I would live there.
Yeah. No, the state sucks unless you want to own like 50 acres and do nothing but live on those 50 acres.
Okay, so if you're in one of the original states and it's a rectangle, you're either in Pennsylvania or you're in Connecticut or, I guess, Rhode Island.
Connecticut is not a fucking rectangle, my guy. You got it right the first time.
Is Connecticut not a rectangle? I always thought it was very rectangular.
Square!
Kinda. It's pretty wide to be a rectangle or a square.
The colonies, like those states, are all like weird shapes. I don't know. I'm in PA, outside of Philadelphia.
There we go. So now, if you want to come kill Matty Boy, there you go.
I fucking wish a motherfucker would. No, I have no fear of anybody who's watching these fucking streams.
Matty Boy, you ready for American history time?
Please do.
It's the reason that the original states' borders are the way they are is because originally there was, ooh, good kill on Howler there. Just misses the Necro ult, unfortunately. Big turnaround. at the end of this fight, if you're still listening, for those 5 of you at home who have not tuned out when I started saying you ready for history time, I call this fight anyway.
I will put you to
Well, Croy is still pursuing Luthier. Luth turns around, gives him the Yules, gonna be okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, 4 staff, but it's still probably fine. Again, this is not great. Again, it just feels like Necro is...
does not, yeah. Necro's just super powerful here. Even
well,
though he
it's
died,
the opposite
like,
is powerful. Necro got no kills and just
know.
died.
I still like him.
I like the hero, and I
like the hero,
I
but
think
right now it's
I
not
might
looking
like
well.
I might like Zook. I just don't think the way he built this game is gonna do wonders for him. Either way.
Yeah, can you go back? 'Cause I got a glimpse. It's kind of an off-laney build, right?
He's got travels, he's got the Lotus Orb, and he's got Blink.
And that's where this early Blink can either pan out, or you build a Lotus travels, and there's nothing after the Blink to like make the Blink more powerful.
He's got Shard too, but that's not gonna do that. Like Shard is an accoutrement.
Yeah, it's not like
smoke. Big boy, right in their line of sight. Big boy is gonna immediately blink, and he's gone.
He's just gonna ult out, and that's that.
Gonna take.
They might
G-Raff
get
as a
G-Raff.
consolation
Yeah, they got
prize.
G-Raff, but it's, you know.
Right guy gets a kill
whatever.
too. I should note here, by the way, that Sven at this point has risen to the top net worth on the entire chart, which is never a sentence that you want to hear if you're a fan of the Radiant, for example. Probably Coffee Cat's best performance to date, I would say. Centaur Warrunner denies the top T1. An interesting move when the enemy team's in Roche.
Yeah, somehow by feeding a lot, the Necro has absolutely gotten to the second highest in the net worth. So I still maintain my position that Necro is super powerful.
Sven gets the Aegis after Roche goes down. Currently sitting on a decent treasure trove of stuff. This is not his inventory, though. Currently sitting on a decent treasure trove of stuff. He's got his own Blink, he's got Mask of Madness, got BKB already, so he can definitely fight. He's also going for Daedalus. Okay. Which, compared to Spectre's basically got a Manta style, nothing else. That Scotty is looking very far off.
Yeah, Scott is looking like a pipe dream. I mean, I don't know what else to go as
got
a
a
Spectre.
Paladin sword and gave it up. And now he's gonna get smoke inked by everybody for his. Never mind, he's gonna blink away. No, he's still gonna die. At least he gets a lot of reflex before he dies, but he also throws some int over to Silencer here. Oh, that's not good! Like, the last thing you would want to have happen to you if you're Dire right after taking that Aegis is Necro just randomly dies for no reason and doesn't do anything away.
You know, like, the crux of your team fight just dies when you're on a team, not a team, but a timer.
Yep.
I mean, you definitely want to send... Those are two good Necro items, but... You wish the Necro was there to get them.
Anyway, the answer is, the earliest states were designed to essentially be a mix of basically urban and rural states at the time, which nowadays really kind of has lost a lot of its meaning. Like,
try farming in New Hampshire, it don't work.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well, New Hampshire was supposed to be an urban state at that point. Like,
also don't work.
Lost a lot of its relevance over time.
Trust me, been there a lot.
Silencer immediately getting knocked down. Sven died mid-ult, but Spectre's also just gonna die here.
Obi also gone.
This is such a big fighting exo here. What?
Oh yeah,
What?
Howler's just gonna go down here.
What?
No, how did he make
That
that
was
out?
okay. Well, never mind. The impact of this fighting
Luke
exo.
literally decided Howler lives, and that was that.
Radiant's
The size of this fighting Exo shrunk considerably due to all that. They gave up a lot for that, and they got Spectre, which is a great kill.
they gave the 1
but-
and 2, so I think even without a tower, that's still a W. Anytime you delay the Spectre's timings is...
Delay the Spectre's timings, but on the other hand, you drop the Aegis for it, you lose your chance to push forward, and in the long game, you lose the Necro again. So he's just going to very casually going down, losing 4 int every time he dies. So is the Neeks Assassin.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower is under
The Silencer did not start out this game well, but if this stuff keeps happening, this is going to be a mean Silencer game soon enough. You know, he's one of the better comeback artists, I think quite underrated. If you keep dying around Silencer, you will really regret it, especially as somebody like Necro, who has, I think, basically every time he's died this entire game, died around the Silencer, who is currently sitting on 28 stolen int. Hey, it ain't that much. Hey, it was a bad start to this game for him, and it's going to be a bad mid-game for Sven, who's going to lose some more int. Just what I was talking about there.
32 stolen in. Like, holy shit. That's so much stolen in.
I gotta be honest with you, Maddie. If I was in this game, I would be really just... I would be asking Necro not to put on a performance like this in Game 2 so far, I gotta say. It really does just kind of feel like every time something's going wrong for this team, the line starts with Necro is out of position, or Necro is ganked, or Necro dies. Yep.
Yeah, it's just like starting the fight off with your mid laner dead.
Finding the Silencer here. Silencer is not aware of the danger.
Way out of position, but
Scythe falls on his head. Hey, that's good for Zook. You know, just dropping the flame on him, then look what happens. Look at flames, by the way, which is good. Oh no, bro! Okay, he almost just teleported away from a jungle item.
Yeah,
because he's about to drop an elven tunic on the ground. You do not do that. If you do that on the cast, I will flame you.
Oh my god, you just fucking canceled your GP. Okay, alright, he's got bots, so it's not that bad.
Listen, if you don't cancel your TP there, even without bots, we will flame you on the cast. I think that is something you can never do. Especially dropping an elven tunic to a team with a Spectre on it. I mean, good god.
Yeah.
Team with a Spectre on it, team with a core Silencer on it. I mean, I doubt he's going to want to give up the Specialist Array in this particular game, but I mean, if you're going to, why not for that, right? Lots of time waste on the Sneaks Assassin here for no kills. Howler's ult, the A ult comes out as well. It's good on Neeks here, who just got his ability to go underground. Just like all your favorite bands, allegedly. Death Prophet here, looking for a Blink Dagger up next. Gonna be a lot of blinking on this going on this team. Sven is closing in on this Daedalus here. Getting mighty close, actually.
And then it's power blinks.
Nearly, yeah.
A lucky find.
A lucky find. Neeks had his ult there. That was probably a good start to a dead Centaur, but ult is not quite up yet. Which, it's not to say he wasted it last time. He got away from a guaranteed death, basically, so... You know, that's just gonna be how it goes sometimes. Necro is tired of dying and is going right for a heart, which he is almost bought in one swift blow. Alright, Necro, calm down. I know we're kind of dumping it on you here, but this is quite extreme, don't you think?
But
You just... Okay.
Yeah, then now we're at Holy Wolves.
5-man smoke on the Dire here. Obi is right. Oh man, this sucks. Lion also has Blink. But that's a really well-timed global silence. So, okay, Obi's still gonna die. But 3 people immediately die out of the AA ult.
Yeah, Howler just fucking pounds him.
Luth is just like, done with this crap. And he's out of here. Well, there's many things that are worth getting a kill on Spectre, but 4 people, including your own Paz1, who is the top net worth in the server, ain't on that list.
Haste.
Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I don't know, that team fight could have gone one of 2 ways, and it went the wrong way for the Dire.
The wrongest possible way. Howler just picked himself up a Lincoln's here. I'm not really sure what he thinks he's going to get done with that. That's just going to be broken by a, like, anything Lion does, by the DP Siphon, like, right at the beginning of pretty much every fight, I think.
It's not the best one to go for, but...
Definitely better to get Lotus, at least, I think.
That's my thoughts as well, but...
It's not what AA thought.
No. So...
He's the one in the game, so that's how it goes. Necro has completed his heart now. He is now sitting on 2730 HP. Also known as still about 500 less than the Centaur Warrunner.
Yeah, Centaur with similar items.
He's got a heart himself. He has opted to disassemble, it seems, his Vanguard from the start of the game for a heart and a Lotus Orb. And if that was his long game, then yeah, sure, that works. Like, if you're just holding items and you're just going to break them down into this is like 2 really good items to have for Warrunner, so even if you don't care about the Vanguard at all, yeah, that's fine. So good on you, Big Boy LaCroix. Even though this is a horrible Vanguard game, you decided you didn't need it, and you were right.
Nope, Big Boy has a bigger plan.
Big Boy, big brain. Smoke him out here. I think Neeks is ulted. Yeah, he's ulted, so... They're gonna see him, though, because he's walking under Sentry. Silence there, I think, just tried to global silence. Then I actually get it out. There does BKB. Here it comes out. Neeks immediately going down. Both Big Boy LaCroix and Sven kind of in awkward positions in this fight. Can't quite figure out where they want to be. Okay, Silencer's gonna die immediately. So is the Necro. Oh my god, Sven is just tearing through the Centaur Warrunner here.
Yeah.
But not fast enough. That Lich Ice Armor is worth its weight in gold, and okay. Everybody's dead. That's such a wet fart for the G-Raff team, dude. That looked like that was going to be so awesome for them, and it's just...
Just not... Yeah. Ooh. That's tough.
Yeah, if you're losing fights, and your cores are just all higher net worth than their cores, that's an uh-oh moment. If you're losing fights and Spectre's not actually online yet, that's kind of turning into an uh-oh moment.
Yeah, that's just, you know, things are not going to go well if this is how your late game is going. And uh-oh, your 4K net worth lead has now turned into a less than 1K net worth lead for the other team. Uh-oh. And that team's a Spectre team. Whoops.
I don't think this is the world's greatest Spectre game, so at the very least, there is that. But on the other hand, Sven has so much and is still just, like, can't win the 1v1 with a Centaur.
Not doing anything. Yeah.
Necro has so much and just can't do anything.
Is still infinitely scaling.
Haste.
Yep.
Like
40 still on that right now.
Eventually, he'll buy a fucking Witchblade, and I can stop cringing.
I would like to point out, for the record, that Necro has had his Null Talisman rollover for the 6% magic, like, max mana boost, and has the Lotus Orb for 250 mana, and has all of his natural link growth and everything like that, and he's still sitting on 61 int. He's still sitting on just over 1 grand of mana. He has really been struggling from all this int being taken from him, fight over fight. I mean, at this point, he's got less int than strength, which, in fairness, he does have a heart that gives him 45 of the stuff. But it's not like he's not carrying any int items.
No, he's carrying a lot of int, and it's just gone.
Sven in a similar situation. Sven is actually getting, Like, in a couple of team fights, Sven is going to just have to build some sort of end item because he's getting dangerously close to the point where he can't stun, ult, and BKB all.
Yeah, it's
Radiant's middle tower is under
definitely
attack.
getting there.
The total mana cost on all of his buttons is... let's see...
200,
200, 400, 445. 445 in total.
600.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's... Sven's got it. Like, to hit all of his buttons, it's full mana. Maybe.
So, Q, Mask of Madness, and... okay, New Obs randomly just died to the Spectre just hitting R. Q, Mask of Madness, and BKB cumulatively is 200, ult is 200, 400. What a drip, though. Okay, this is bad.
It just goes down.
And this is such an awkward spot for Luth to just be standing here, too. Big Boy LaCroix gets to be feared. Big Boy LaCroix gets to be silenced. Big Boy LaCroix gets to lose his life. Okay. If that fight proved one thing, I do think that that fight proves this team fight is great in a counterattack, but is still struggling very heavily to make an actual offensive. That was the first time that they've really gone deep across the river in a while, and
actually won.
Yeah, and what happens when they do is they lose Silencer, they lose Big Boy LaCroix, they lose a lot very quickly. They're actually they got just totally bluffed out by this AA ult here. I don't know why everyone's leaving this arena. There's 2 people alive, guys. Roche is going to go down. I believe this is, yep, Shard ult, Roche. Wonder who's going to pick it up. The answer is Sven, who already has a Shard, so he's not going to be carrying it. Who's he going to be giving it to? Nyx doesn't have one, Lion doesn't have one, DP has one, so it's going to be one of the supports.
I think you give it to Lion here.
Give it to
Nyx. What do I know?
And hey, I do think that's a really good chart to have on a team with a Necro on it. Assuming he lives long enough to see the Nyx Vendetta happen, which so far has not been a very consistent factor in these fights. By the way, the net worth advantage has gone right back to the status quo. It's right back to 5k advantage for the Dire.
Yeah, apparently these games just are not going to end beyond 40 minutes. It's,
Yeah, I don't think there's been a single game so far this season that's been under 30 minutes long. I think maybe there was like one that was 28, that's it. It feels like the average match time in LD2L right now is about 50 minutes. If you're going to record a lot of games, you better pack some goddamn sandwiches.
yeah, Christ.
Four-man smoke coming out of the Dire. Sven has decided that he will use this Aegis to farm out the rest of the Satanic. Luth is going to get immediately annihilated. Goodbye. It just keeps happening with these Aegises.
Luth just...
I feel like that is just...
farm an Aegis and somebody else dies.
I feel like this is just such a common trend with the Aegis pickups on this particular lineup. Like, oh, by the way, Sven, pro tip: if you get Aegis as a pause 1, put it over your BKB, not over your Echo Saber. Anyway, I feel like this is such a common trend on this team. They take Aegis, they take some sort of big advantage, and then immediately some random person on their team just gets picked off by smoke.
Just
That
dead. Yeah.
That just tells me there's some bad cohesion going on. There's some bad coordination. Everybody needs to get their head in the game. They need to get on the same page here. It doesn't matter how many times they take back the net worth advantage. It doesn't matter how many times they upset win a fight. You're not gonna win. Spectre definitely was looking for an easy pick there with the Ags, but without a BKB or an Orchid, those easy picks are certainly not happening. Nobody... Nice Ags. Thank you. Without a BKB or an Orchid, nobody on that team is going down.
My thanks.
You're welcome, Nuobs. Dude, everybody on Radiant is just suddenly buying Aeon Disc. We had an Aeon Disc pop out on Silencer. We have one on the Ancient Apparition. I swear I saw somebody else get one. Let's look at the item chart. That'll show it to us. Oh, it was on the other team. It was Lion. Okay, so... Well, if you weren't going to get any picks with that Ags before, you're certainly not going to get one with a... Guys. Okay, come on now. What the hell is this? You've got Aegis and the net worth advantage!
And, yeah, no. Just sit in base.
Bro, this is as scared as it gets. 5-man smoke coming out here, though. Just waiting for somebody to walk on this side of the river, I guess. Silence here is not going to let this happen. Well-timed silence on the Death Prophet's part. Sven ignoring the Aeon Disc. Correct line of action here. Ignoring the Centaur completely might not be it, though. First life on the Sven. Reaper Scythe takes out the Silencer. Luth just dies of attrition, basically.
Nuobs takes out G-Raff.
Big Boy LaCroix just gonna eat the Sven here. I like Necro using the Lotus Orb on the Lotus to projectile.
It's a nice gotcha.
Oh, that was a little poorly executed. It feels like Coffee Cat needs somebody on their team to say, listen, in fights, beat up this guy. Like, everyone just kind of ignoring the Centaur Warrunner and letting him just walk all over your team, that was no bueno. And he's about to get a BKB, which is going to make that fact a lot easier for him. Not sure what he thinks he's going to replace for it. Maybe his brown boots, I guess, but that's going to suck. What? Someone got a Seer Stone on this team or something. Oh right, yeah, the stupid gem active now. I forgot about that. He just made that a function of the Gem of Truesight. The things you forget about this game.
It's a small indie company, and not all the features are explained. So,
That's true.
Just how it is.
Man, I remember that era where Valve was like somehow simultaneously like one of the most profitable video game companies in the world, and yet also still like a pretty underground thing. Like,
but also not doing shit for anything. Yeah, it was wonderful.
Like, you know,
it was like, hey, you're making so much fucking money. Please spend some time on this game. And now it's like, holy shit, you're making so much fucking money. Please spend some time on this game, please.
Oh no, I mean like, you know, like in the era of like Half-Life 1 and the original Counter-Strike, when they were somehow printing money and yet like...
Yeah, no, I get it. I was there. I get it.
Goodbye, Nix Assassin.
It's always the same play. There it is.
Another kill for the Silencer, who is sitting on, right now, 52 Soul and Ent. Necro is still not really much higher int than he was last time we looked at him. In fairness, he has not bought any... Okay, if you really think you're going to be able to use a Refresher Orb this game, you're actually out of your mind. Legitimately, you do not have enough mana to ult Refresher Orb and ult again, and then you're not going to have anything for any of your other items. Like, this is not a good idea.
You can either Refresher and do something, or not Refresher.
Like, I promise you wholeheartedly, this is on the list of bad ideas. You've lost so much in this game, you bought no end items since that, like, Lotus Orb, as much as you can count that as an end item. I beg of you, get something else. Maybe if the man had some greaves this game, but nobody on his team is building that right now for the reason of he's up against AA, I suppose. Top net worth in the server again, by the way, somehow. Sven, by the way, it's finished Satanic now.
Yeah, Satanic is a really good item. You know, for just...
That's a very controversial opinion.
Yeah, you know. It's, that's my, my 2 cents. Satanic, the item that is, lifesteal, dispel, damage. Good item.
Luth unwittingly was walking into the smoke again there, and then unwittingly walked away, and then unwittingly walked right back into it. Global silence here. Howler's going to get Aeon Disc. It's a pretty big Centaur ult. Big Necro Shard there actually just went and stopped Silencer in this totally different fight that's happening elsewhere, but not stopped well enough. It's a little late to be trying to go for the Exo, don't you think, Luth?
Yeah, I don't know what that late, like, you're about dead, why you pop Exo? I don't know.
60 stolen in.
Alright, well, I'm going to bed.
Alright, good night.
Oh, Maggie's going to bed. I am not.
Is that Mrs. Boy?
That is Mrs. Boy.
Crazy.
Yeah, right.
Not a very appropriate name, I gotta say.
No, you know, you think I'm a child, but I'm not.
No, I mean Mrs. Boy. Kind of self-contradicting. Ah, Necro gets to be a ghost, unwillingly. I like how Big Boy always makes sure to Lotus set, even when he doesn't really have a great reason to do so, just to be annoying.
Just every single time.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Defensive lift there to try and keep this push going. It does seem to be successfully doing so at the moment. One interesting scenario is that even though technically they're down the Spectre can just jump in on this at any time. The Lich also got a Linken's here. Guess makes a little more sense because like less of these skills are going to be hitting him. Centaur Warner says we got the racks. Now we get back. The time-honored tradition.
Yeah, this is the slow and steady wins the race kind of plan.
Alec, put your raindrops in your inventory, would you?
Yeah, like sell it or use it. Oh.
Or lose it. Oh, by the way, hey, Silencer, sell some of this crap. What are you doing? Even if you're gonna slot something in to replace that Aeon Disc, which, by the way, should go over the BKB, not probably either of these 2 items. You don't have enough slots, brother. Get rid of your crap. It's just good inventory management, isn't it? What are you gonna do if you take the Roshan, right? That's not Bismarck. That's Carl Pilkington.
That's that's just generic.
If you Otto von Bismarck probably knows who Carl Pilkington is.
I am definitely not well versed enough in British literature, whatever.
Yeah, he's a very famous literary.
I don't fucking know, dude.
Famous literary character. You have just invented the funniest universe ever. Ooh, good stun there by the Neeks assassin. Immediately gets an AA ult thrown upon his head for good measure. Radiant supports immediately die, and Lich quickly buying back. Sven dies, and then he says, damn it. Silencer dies, and then he says, damn it.
The Rogue Knight has fallen.
Tower is under attack.
I mean, it's a good death line, just damn it.
Oh. So is this Timeline the American who has no idea what famous British literature is?
Dire's middle barracks are under
Carl Pilkington is not a literary character. If they wrote a book about him, it would be a disgrace to all fiction.
Yeah, I don't know who the fuck
He's
that guy is,
he's some weird guy who's kind of an idiot.
Facts.
That's the answer.
So,
And he has a really round head.
yeah, that's definitely not you, boy. If anything, my head is not round.
Yeah, you're probably not Carl Pilkington. I would doubt Otto is. I've heard his voice. It doesn't sound too similar. Got a refresher on the DP here. Again, that's going to be a struggle to ult, refresh, ult. But I think there's going to be less consequence to just casually having it, you know? You can do 2 exos. Not necessarily at the same time, but...
Well, 2 exos and, I mean...
basically...
3, like, 4 siphons?
Basically, the real upside that you get out of this, probably, is that you get to have an exo for the fight, and then you get to have an exo for the push.
Yeah.
And you can now use those
you
freely.
get as many exos, or you got 1 exo for the fight, as many siphons as you can get off, and then when the fight's over, you pop the refresher and go again.
5-man smoke into the Roche pit. Finally, a team that realizes that you can do this. This is a valid strategy. This is allowed. Of course, your Radiant is still going to suss it out and scan it out, but you know how it goes. Centaur ults. Oh my god, Spectre comes in on the Neek stun and then gets stunned again by Roche for good measure. Okay, but you can't just give this Roche up, though. You gotta fight for this now. You've got an Exo, guys. You've got an Exo, you've got this Fin ult, you've got Reaper Scythe. You can't just go to mid and wait for Spectre to pick off your supports. Okay, this is like... No, you can't do this, guys. Centaur Warner just finished a pipe, which means that Necro is basically now out of business. He's never going to get another Reaper Scythe again.
Pipe feels bad. Plus the...
Centaur just messed up his timing. Doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah. I mean, when you're barely
stolen.
yeah, it's just happening. This is it here.
Buyback's coming out here.
Yeah.
TP's into the
Prop's
fight
gonna
and
go down.
immediately dies.
Yeah, buyback.
Buys back, but has no TP.
Doesn't matter.
Necro
Sun's
just
gonna buy back.
Necro just refreshed,
Necro
presumably.
already bought back. That's 2 minutes. Nick's gonna go down here. Yep,
Necro just
is.
refreshed, presumably just to BKB because there's no.
Fight. There it is.
There was
Good
no
night.
target to ult there,
GG's.
but
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They don't even need to take Roche. Just end the game.
yep.
Two heroes, no buyback. Sven dead. Like, I don't know. And what he does alive is kind of minimal.
Middle barracks have fallen.
I think there was a time. Okay, Sven's gonna buy. We got an Exo coming out.
Structures are fortified.
Silencer's gonna get silenced for maximum irony. Immediately gonna drop on his head. He does not have the A on it, so he cannot easily survive this. But Sven just got AA ulted with no BKB right in front of the Spectre. Spoilers, he dies. Not looking good for the Death Prophet either. That's a good Yules though, but it's gonna waste a little bit of time. That's a dieback on
Bam,
Liv.
there it is.
The stand-in calls the GG.
Dire's middle tower.
Big boy LaCroix wishes for white peace to all, and the war is over.
What?
That's what I always say. Okay, so if you come from like the strategy game community, WP equals white peace, right? WP out. And whenever I see GG WP, good game, white peace.
Yeah, I am strictly a Dota gamer.
See, you live on a farm, it's not surprising. Alright, what happened here? I mean, I think this is an open shut case. This is a game where the brothers against NATO had a good draft. I think good individual game plans, but ironically, what the curse that once infected their drafting has now seeped into their actual playstyle. It felt like, despite everybody having a good handle on what their heroes should be doing, it felt like they never had any idea what they should be doing as a team. And it feels like there were so many places in this game, especially towards the end, where it was like everybody's brain was running with 500 ping. You know, anytime there was any sort of decision to be made, maybe everybody was taking a vote on it, I don't know. But, like, you know...
Yeah, I mean, like... Howler got a Hex and a Spirit Vessel and an Aeon and Travels. Like, that should tell you what the game... Like... And Lich has a Lincoln's...
Howler's barely under net worth compared to the Sven. And in fairness,
Which is crazy! You know, like... The highest net worth is the fucking Necro, and Howler's the 4, and he's only 4k behind. That's the game.
In fairness, the gold disparity did not really go this crazy until the very end of the game when not G-Raff, when the Brothers Against NATO did start kind of throwing the bodies into the fire. But either way,
yeah, but that doesn't happen all at once.
Yeah, no, I mean it just comes down to this. The Brothers Against NATO...
If your 4 is on pace with the mid or the 3, you're going to do well. Because then your 2 and your 1 are well above, and that's what happened here.
Actually... yeah, I mean, the distance from Howler to Copeless is also about the same distance from Howler to Necro. The mids had about the same amount of net worth. The Spectre at a similar amount of net worth, but yeah, it's definitely, I definitely do think there is, like, the net worth disparity here is only to the point of, like, just the very end of the game collapse, but really what it comes down to, beyond the net worth, beyond the atomization, beyond anything else, is this. It felt like pretty much every time Brothers Against NATO had the ball in their court, whenever they were striking out and doing something, the actual execution, it felt really fall apart. Like, it just felt like nobody was shot calling. It felt like nobody was, like, following any kind of order. Nobody was following any kind of pattern. Nobody was really even thinking about, like, VIPs in fights. Like, you know, how many fights did we see where Big Boy LaCroix is just sitting there, you know, with a Necro on the enemy team, mind you. Big Boy LaCroix is just sitting there at like 100% HP 20, 30 seconds into a fight, you know? How many times in this fight do we see, like in this game, do we see everybody just kind of bunch up and then just get eaten by a single Howler ult? I mean, there's multiple team fights where he got more than 30 people. You know, how much int are we going to throw to Silencer by leaving him to the end of the fight? The answer is an astounding 96. Remember that this guy started this game by just getting kicked from pillar to post.
God, 96?
Remember that this game started with this Silencer getting buried 6 feet under, getting scythed twice in a row, only getting any kind of response when he had every support TP to his lane. He spent most of the early game being a punching bag for the Death Prophet and the Necro, right? This guy had the worst imaginable early game, and he still ended up having 96 stolen int at the end of it, just because I think it was just very poor organization on Brothers Against NATO. I do think there were some moments of poor organization on G-Raff's lab as well, but I mean, it's night and day compared to Brothers Against NATO. I don't know if it's because I assume their captain is out, I don't know what the deal is, but they have definitely got to take a level in organizing their fights by the next game, or else they're going to get stomped out the next game. And speaking of next game, we'll see it soon, right there.